Mitama brings the soldiers who killed the villagers back to life. The captain is named Bertrand, and he was originally a knight belonging to the imperial family. He wants to return to the palace after his resurrection. However, because of the change of gender, the soldiers guarding the gate do not recognize her at all. Hearing that she just came out of the isolation camp, they drive her away in disgust. Bertrand, who has nowhere to go, spends the night alone in the forest, wondering where she should go if she is really abandoned by the imperial family. Just then she meets Roy, who says that Bertrand has a really good figure and approaches her, obscenely seemingly trying to harass Bertrand. This frightens Bertrand, and she wants to attack Roy, but without the king's order she cannot draw her sword and attack ordinary people. Just when Bertrand is desperate, Yukito shows up and beats Roy away. Yukito praises Bertrand as a loyal subordinate, and then taunts that even so the imperial family has still abandoned her. Bertrand doesn't want to admit it, but she knows that Yukito was telling the truth. Just as Bertrand is frustrated, Yukito offers help. He asks Bertrand to join his team, and he promises to give Bertrand a place to stay. Yukito's sincere words and handsome face make Bertrand's heart race. With her face turning red, she agrees to Yukito's invitation. Soon after Mitama, the village's farmland is attacked by monsters, and Yukito appears with Mitama. Mitama confidently summons a sword hidden at the bottom of the sea, asking the villagers to attack the monsters with this sword. However, the villagers are defeated by monsters in an instant, and Yukito can't help but complain that Mitama is as unreliable as ever. At this moment, Bertrand appears handsomely. Faced with the attack of the monster, she draws her sword and attacks directly, bursting out with great power in an instant and cutting poor CGI monster in front of her in half. The villagers around all cheer, and they adore the powerful knight in front of them. Seeing this, both Yukito and Mitama are stunned. Later, Yukito thinks of something and immediately introduces to the villagers that Bertrand is a holy knight of their religious organization, and as long as they are willing to join them, he promises to let Bertrand protect their farmlands from monsters. Although the villagers don't know what the religion is, they still decide to join the organization when hearing that they can be protected as soon as they join Yukito. Meanwhile, the Alora sisters is also trying to attract more people to their organization in their restaurant. They announce to customers that from now on, wine in restaurants will only be served to members of the religious organization, and if they want to drink, they must join the organization. In addition, Yukito also uses the knowledge on Earth to design a jar that can preserve food for a long time, similar to the refrigerator on Earth, and everyone who joins the organization can get one for free. Due to the increasing number of the new members, Roy, who is in charge of making the jar, has not slept for 3 days and is very tired. However, as soon as he hears Mitama's orders, he becomes spirited again, and he feels very excited when being abused by Mitama-sama. Besides, Yukito also makes snacks unique to the Earth, the biscuits, and everyone who joins the organization can taste them. He also asks Mitama to use her divine power to massage the organization members, which the villagers enjoy very much. Soon, the number of Mitama's believers has grown to 107. Bertrand's joining and offering benefits to villagers are part of Yukito's plan. In Yukito's opinion, instead of explaining the existence of God to villagers who do not understand God at all, it is better to directly give benefits to those who join the organization. Unlike the previous world in which people join religious organization by faith, he wants to build a religion driven by benefits. As the number of people joining the organization increases, Yukito thinks of a question. How many believers does Mitama need to gain the power to fight the imperial family? He finds Bertrand to inquire about the imperial family. When he sees Bertrand, he is a little stunned. Bertrand is wearing a sexy maid outfit, which is completely different from the handsome look she showed before. It turns out that all of this is done by the Alora sisters, who are attracted by Bertrand's beautiful face and sexy body, and in order to satisfy their special proclivity, they force Bertrand to wear a maid outfit. But Yukito has a more important thing to do. He asks Bertrand how many soldiers the imperial family have. Bertrand thinks Yukito wants to rebel, but Yukito tells her that he only wants to protect this village. Bertrand tells Yukito that the strength of the imperial family does not lie in the number of soldiers they have. The real reason why the imperial family can take control for long is that they have a team of archons, which is an elite unit under the direct control of the king. Legend has it that every member of this team is given special powers by the king, and each of them has the power to destroy a mountain. Knights like Bertrand are no match for them at all. After chatting with Bertrand, Yukito immediately finds Mitama and asks her whether she has the power to destroy a mountain. Mitama tells him that as long as there are 10,000 believers she can do that. Hearing this, Yukito is a bit desperate. He worked hard for so long but only gained more than 100 believers, and he wonders when he will attract 10,000 believers. Yukito finds Bertrand again, and Bertrand is now dressed in strange outfit again by the Allura sisters. Yukito approaches Bertrand step by step, which makes her very shy. Just when Bertrand thinks that Yukito wants to humiliate her, Yukito pulls out her sword saying, "This is just an ordinary sword." It turns out that Yukito saw Bertrand easily defeat the monster with this sword, so he wants to know if there is anything special about this weapon, and whether it can be purchased in bulk, so that he can equip the religious organization with these weapons to fight against the imperial family. Bertrand tells Yukito that the sword is not as simple as it seems, and that if the user masters the skill of using it, he can cut off everything in this world. But only those who have a certain position in the army of the imperial family will be given this weapon with special abilities by the king. That is to say, it is impossible to buy this weapon in bulk. Unwilling to admit failure, Yukito then finds Klen and Allura's sister Solurl to inquire about the village. It turns out that there are countless isolation camps in this world, and these isolation camps surround the imperial city like a human wall guarding the residents of the imperial city. The total number of villagers in their village is only about 2,000, and even if all of them become Mitama's believers, it is still not enough. Unfortunately, even knowing that there are other villages, Yukito cannot think of a way to increase the number of believers to 10,000 in a short period of time. At night, Yukito is frustrated in the restaurant, and Solurl comes to comfort him. She tells Yukito that if it weren't for him, they would have been killed by the soldiers, and he has already done a lot for them, so he doesn't need to think too much. Solurl's words remind Yukito of his father, who said the same thing when he taught Yukito about the religion. The initial members of his father's cult were basically strong men like martial artists, so they used violence to defeat another cult in a certain town and snatch all the members of their cult. With other means, the number of the cult's member was increased from more than 100 to tens of thousands. His father told Yukito not to think too much, and there were many ways to develop the cult, including occupying their territory. Instantly, Yukito seems to think of a solution. The next day, Klen approaches Yukito and asks if he has thought of a way to fight the imperial family. Yukito asks him, does it matter if he breaks the culture of this world when he uses his way? Roy tells Yukito that the village is characterized by freedom, and if Yukito feels that something must be done, then feel free to do it. After receiving an affirmative answer, Yukito says, let's try it, and see me get this village advanced by 500 years. Soon, a month passes by. During this time, Bertrand patrols the vicinity of the village in strange outfits designed by the Allura sisters every day, in case the imperial family sends people to attack the village. One day, when patrolling, Bertrand meets a white-haired girl named Ader, the archon of the imperial family in the legend. A long time ago, she has been ordered to punish the village that rebels against the end-of-life system. But every time she tries to come to the village, she will be assigned other tasks by an archon named Loki, who seems deliberately to stall for time. Now Ader finally finished other tasks. Ader easily discovers Bertrand's identity using a special ability, and she takes Bertrand, who appears in the village as a rebel, and the two break out a fight. Ader easily defeats Bertrand with her great power, but she doesn't kill her because she decides to find out why Bertrand's gender has been changed. Just as Ader intends to step into the village, she is shocked by the scene in front of her. There are windmills, watering hoses, and even tractors in the village. In Ader's opinion, these moving things are the monsters she has never seen. But why are these monsters carrying humans? That brings the end of this part. Like this video, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I will bring more exciting anime in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye.